Let's start the party.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Hi guys, this is Ria Bow. I've just picked up on a Tommy Robinson update about his court hearing. Today's date is the 16th of October. I'm about to bring you it up on screen straight away. I haven't seen this, so we can talk about it afterwards if you want to. But we've got a copy of it here. I'm just lining it up for you guys. If you want to subscribe to my channel, you have to click the bell because we're a live show and we do a live all-day stream on Sunday with different broadcasters from different parts of the world. So we take the live chat, hang out, talk about current events, Tommy Robinson and the like. So here he goes, guys. Let me change the screen for you. And here is Tommy Robinson. Here we go.
Live scope here. So I'm just giving a quick... Why do I look a luminous white? There you go. I'm just giving a quick update as to, some people would have seen today, there was a little judgment made at the Old Bailey with regards to my trial. So next Tuesday, the 23rd, I will stand trial again for contempt of court. Now, there was a judgment made today by the judge. He passed a judgment to say that he will take the case himself and he will prosecute and judge, from what I understand. There were submissions and a legal argument that this has to go to the Attorney General. The Attorney General then instructs a prosecutor. That hasn't happened, and it's actually, which I just don't understand how this can be.
Use the right 2 lanes to turn slightly right onto Hollywood Way, A5145.
It's actually the judge who's added extra charges. So the person who's going to judge it has added more charges. I can't have a jury, so I haven't got a jury. So I'll be tried for contempt of court for breaching a reporting restriction that multiple other journalists the same weekend breached. None of them have faced prosecution. In fact, their cases were sent to the Attorney General. Sending it to the Attorney General, from what I understand from my legal team, is the correct procedure. Now, the case that I was sent to prison for standing outside is actually still under reporting restrictions. So I believe there's a legal effort by journalists why it's taken them this long, but they're going to put a legal effort on Thursday to try and have this reporting restrictions lifted. Why they didn't do that in the first place? Why were there these blanket reporting restrictions that you can't talk about this case whatsoever or you'll be put in prison? The journalists are now going to try and lift the reporting restrictions, and if they're lifted, then we can all find out the details, can't we, about what's gone on, where there's a lot of details to come out. And there's, I don't know, let me just one sec, hold on. So straight down over the bridge, and then at the end of the roundabout, right at the very end, going left. And then I'm currently, at the minute, I'm just sat in
600 feet at the roundabout, take the first exit onto the M60 slip road to Ring Road, S&W, Manchester Airport.
Sorry, you're on our little tom-tom with us. But I've been in a legal meeting today as well, up in Manchester, with solicitors to look at all the cases that I want to have against the Sunday Times, against the police, against the prison. To be able to fight these cases, this is where it's impossible. To be able to fight these cases, the charges, it's insane. But that's another whole video and another whole story. This story is to let people know that on the 23rd I'll be standing trial at the Old Bailey. I know when I walked around the corner last time, it was such a feeling.
Exit the roundabout onto the slip road
on a Thursday morning at 9 o'clock for left here, that many people, and then we'll just follow the sign for the M6. That many people would have turned out, and it felt amazing. Rather than being worried or concerned, which obviously I will be, I felt elevated. So
continue on M60 for 2 miles.
What I understand is the trial will happen on the 23rd, and the judge will pass judgment the morning of the 24th. From what I understand, now he's going to find me guilty. I just don't understand how a judge can. I don't understand. I do not get it. Which I'm sure these legal arguments will come up again. How the procedure, the reason my case got dismissed last time was because they did not follow procedures. They're not. This is not following procedures again. From what I understand, from my legal thing, and we're currently at. While we're on it, I Am Soldier X campaign is currently at nearly 185,000 signatures. I'd ask, if you haven't signed it, please sign it. It'll take 1 minute. I want to have at least 200,000 signatures when I go and deliver this. I want to deliver it before my court case now. I think I will do, in case I'm not here. I want to deliver it. I know there's a demonstration on... Is it this Sunday?
Yes.
This Sunday there's a demonstration by Veterans Against Terrorism starting at Leicester Square at 12 o'clock. Veterans Against Terrorism are a brilliant organisation set up in the wake after the Manchester bombings. Ex-servicemen who are coming together, who are probably like most people now, feeling like they serve their country to protect it from the very people that are here, to protect it from, say for example, the 22,000 Muslims that are on the jihadi terror watch list. Why are they here? Why are they being allowed to walk the streets? But anyway, there's a march, and the march has now changed its name to #IamSoldierX. That will be the march. If you want to join that, I'd advise to do so. They're a great organisation. I wish I could be there myself, but because I think I'll probably be in jail on Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm taking my...
In a quarter of a mile, keep left at the fork to continue on M56. Follow signs for Chester, Warrington.
Yeah, off here, left. I'm taking my children away for the weekend. So I wish I could be here, and I've been travelling and we've been everywhere, and I'm everywhere for the next 2 days as well, or 3 days until we go. We will be, yeah. So if you haven't signed it, sign it. As I said, we're nearly at 185,000. We want to be at 200,000. The support has been unbelievable.
Keep left at the fork to continue on M56.
Which is gutting, really, and devastating. The conditions our armed forces are facing. You know, like you might have seen they got a...
Continue for 7 miles.
Turn it off. Sorry, I just thought I'd turn off the sat-nav. You might have seen that our armed forces apparently got 2% pay rise. But what they don't tell you is they put their living conditions, they have to pay to live where they live. They put that up, and they put their food up. As I'm talking, I read a report. I've been reading so much to try and get... I think that once I get caught out of the way, either way, if it's me going away and come back out, I want to tell the stories of many of these armed forces, of what's happening to them, of why they feel the way they do, and their standard of living, the support they receive, the neglect shown towards them. And I want to run videos or make videos about each individual thing and tell these people's stories, because they don't have a voice. And I realise that I've been breaking my heart sometimes reading some of these messages I'm getting. Some of the messages I'm getting about what conditions they're living under, about people who have suffered, people who have been blown up, people who have then been... All it's coming down to money. Trying to prevent them getting the access to the facilities they need, the support they need. They're basically just being dumped. And that's why this I Am Soldier X campaign, I can see it's going to explode, in the sense of people want a voice. These people are being neglected, and even like 8,600 members of the army are clinically obese. I read a report yesterday. 8,600 are obese. Why are they obese? That's what you should be asking. Why are they obese? And then you look at the food that they're getting given, that they're getting fed, and they have to pay for it themselves. It used to be deducted automatically out of their wages, so they'd automatically just get their meals and their food. Now it goes on a pay-as-you-go system. So by the end of the month, either they haven't got a lot of money either, and a takeaway, 2-piece chicken and chips or a kebab, is a lot cheaper. Yeah? When they come in, it was £1.30. So everything, I'm finding out so many stories. But again, I don't want to rush it all. I want to tell each individual point to each one of them. And to see, I'm speaking to so many it seems like they're fed up. I spoke to one lad who said that if we went to war tomorrow, he reckons half the lads would walk off.
We're a defence force, not
because they're fed up. And they don't feel what they're defending. They don't feel... And if you're in this and you're working in the public service at all, if you're a policeman... I've got a policeman from America who's just sent me a picture of him in his uniform saying hashtag I am Soldier X. If you're in the police force in Britain and you feel you can't do your job because of the political pressure, because of the diversity or rules within the police force, etc., you're not getting the promotion you're supposed to get because of all these things, show your support to the I Am Soldier X campaign. Police officers, if you work in the hospital, in the NHS, if you're doctors, if you're nurses, every sector of British workforce that's government controlled, they're forcing these agendas through. Yeah, they're forcing them through, and people are feeling it, and you can see they're feeling it. I can see they're feeling it in the messages I'm getting and the conversations I'm having. I'm not just speaking to low-level people within the army, within the armed forces. This is all the way to the top. I've had conversations with warrant officers. I've had conversations with so many people this week that's making me realise, Jesus, so many captains who are just disgusted, squadron leaders who are disgusted with the fact that they're throwing one of our own, they're sacrificing, that's what they're doing, they're sacrificing a 17-year-old boy's life and future because of the Muslim Council of Britain. That's what they're doing. They're sacrificing a man. And you can see by the responses by all the armed forces who are putting their messages up, we never leave a man behind. We stand with him. They're letting the country know that the members of our armed forces stand with that 17-year-old boy. They don't stand with me. No, that's not what this is about. This isn't about standing with Tommy Robinson. This is about standing with that boy. Standing with him against the Muslim Council of Britain, who have signed declarations to say that our armed forces are legitimate targets of terror attacks, legitimate targets for suicide bombings in Iraq. That's what they signed. The Muslim Council of Britain are an extremist organisation that currently have the leadership. And again, when I say the top brass, it's not all the top brass, but there is a problem here. There is a problem, just like in the police force. When you get to the top of the police force, they are politicians. They're not police. Look at that copper who sat in his car and watched as Khalid Masood murdered one of his own. Your ordinary Bobby, your ordinary police officer on the street wouldn't have sat in the car. You wouldn't have sat in the car, but at the top, where we have cowards with silver spoons who are so detached from their own workforce, from their own community, from their own people, to realise the level of anger and frustration and resentment that people are feeling due to the appeasement and the political correctness that's been shoved down everyone's throats in this country, that you think you can get away. And if you are one of those top brass watching this video, if you made the right decision, currently your army personnel are uniting, but they're not uniting on your side, they're uniting for Soldier X, and that's not going to die down. And so long as I'm out here, I'm not going to let it die down. I'm going to continue to push this. And I don't want to be working against my own British Army or my own government. But what we want you to do is show some respect to your own citizens who are willing to sacrifice their life to protect us and our freedom. And you think you can throw them under a bus like that? So do the right thing. Come out publicly and let people know Soldier X is not losing his job. Soldier X has a career, something he wishes to do. And then there's no need for I Am Soldier X campaign. Well, actually, I think there is now. I think it's gone way beyond that now, because there's so many problems within the armed forces that I'm hearing that they're not allowed. I know they're not allowed to join a union. They're not allowed a spokesman. They're not allowed a voice. I'm happy to be that voice. I'm happy to bring to the top or highlight the problems and the disgusting way that they're being treated. You send them off to war, they get life. And you know what, on the worst case, this march on Sunday for the Veterans Against Terrorism is a march against post-traumatic stress disorder. We was at the services, 2 days ago? We was at the services and another lad come up to me who was discharged 2 years ago because he had post-traumatic stress disorder. Just discharged, see you later. Yeah. We've had our use of you. We've had our use of you. See you later. That's how it is. Now, you've got enough money in this country to, and even if you look at foreign aid, you plough our money. You ask the British public where they want their money to go, yeah? It's not going to be to Afghanistan, Iraq or Syria. They're going to want it to be spent on our armed forces and the help and support that they need. The mental help they need, all of the help that they need. There should be no cost, no worry about money. The embarrassment of the way our country treats our veterans is a disgrace. You compare the level of respect that American armed forces get to ours, it's an absolute laughing stock. It's disgraceful.
£2 million Anjem Choudhury.
Yeah, Anjem Choudhury's now, the cost to protect Anjem Choudhury now will be £2 million a year. Whilst we've got, I think, 60% of the people in London sleeping on the street are ex-members of our armed forces. And the reason on the street is because they're mentally suffering. They're mentally suffering because of what they've given for our country. They've gone and willingly put themselves in a situation where they will suffer mental torment for the rest of their life. And whilst they have that mental torment, what are you doing for them? Nothing. But penalising them, calling them extremists. Like this Sunday for the demonstration, you come down on them. But anyway, I'm going to stop ranting because it's winding me up. But just, if you haven't signed the petition, sign it. I hope to see as many of you as possible on the 23rd, next Tuesday at the Old Bailey. We have a stage, we have a PA system. What I was gutted about last time, when I come out of that court, that you people who have travelled to London to see me, and I want to shake individually every one of your hands. I won't leave on Tuesday if I walk out of that court until I've met every single one of you. To thank you personally, from me, to thank you for the support, because it gives me an immense feeling that where I may go into prison on my own, but I know I'm not alone. And I know that by the masses of support. And I also I understand the public feeling, or my finger would be on the pulse, so far detached from our politicians, just by the reaction I get in every single town and city, everywhere I go. So understand this: if you're thinking this, and you're signing the petition, you're feeling this way, you're not alone. You are not alone. You are part of a tidal wave of patriotism that's sweeping this country in an uncontrollable state, and they have no idea what to do with it. They do not, at the minute, their thoughts are to try and shut me up or try and lock him up in prison. That ain't going to work. The cat's out of the bag. No matter what you do, the cat's out of the bag. Public feeling is growing. It's growing for patriotism, for nationalism, for identity, for our culture. You can't stop it. Thank you.
Okay, guys, there you go. Let me just switch this off for a second. Otherwise... Right, I just want to chip in there because that was new to me. If you just joined me, this is Ria Bow on Long Live Radio. I'm covering Tommy's story as we go through. If you do want to subscribe to my channel, we're a live show, so you have to click the bell. Clicking the bell is super important. I want to say hello to some new people in the channel. Elise, Nivara Wilson, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Mac Tavish, Barbara Pem and Diana Higo. Welcome, guys. Yeah, I know everybody else. Hi, there you go. I saw it out there, so I thought I would share it with you. And the quickest way for me to do that is to go live. Just a quick one, because we know people will be watching that video, right? That may be a part of the army. And what he says is very true. It has a lot of substance, in the sense that there is a massive movement going on that you're trying to put the lid on. Is that your oath to the country, is it? Is that what it is? Your oath is to put the lid on the voice of the people. Is that the deal? Is that what you're telling yourself? Are you telling yourself, right, my job is to silence the voice of the people? So just ask yourselves that, because if you're carrying water for these people and you're part of the mechanics to suppress people's views, then you've got to deal with that. There's a thing called karma. We've got to turn up the pressure on these people. And that guy, whether you agree with him or not, to whisk someone off, to see the justice in our country and the state of it is just outrageous. Just outrageous. A dude, in this case Tommy, down the road filming live, and then before you know it, he's in the Old Bailey, and it just upsets me so much to see what's going on. It's absolutely crazy, guys. Look, I'm not going to bleat on and do a long one because nobody will see the video. In fact, for people just tuning in, if you haven't heard, I'm going to play you the Barracks recording if I can find it. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is. So this is the Barracks recording of what kind of grief these young guys are getting. Okay, here it comes. Hopefully it'll play okay.
This is a pretty fucking serious matter, actually. The reason I've got you here is it's come to light that has been in touch with Tommy Robinson. Anybody that doesn't know who fucking Tommy Robinson is, he is the founder of the English Defence League. He is an extreme right-wing fucking activist. In light of some pictures that were taken from recruits at ITC, a service station with a Yorkshire Regiment cap badge surrounding him, Chief of the General Staff has got involved. Then took it upon himself to fucking direct message him on Facebook and say, yep, come down to Battersea Barracks, come and get a photo with me and some of my mates. To which Tommy Robinson says, yep, right, fine, I'll fucking be there. And he's then put it all over Facebook Live. So this is the gypsies fucking warning. Because I will not be associated with fucking people like that. And the problem is, wearing this kit, I am. And I take it as a fucking personal affront to be associated with people like that. And the only thing anybody is talking about in the fucking Yorkshire Regiment is our association with the fucking right wing. We fight the Queen's enemies all around the fucking globe. We fight people who oppress other people's fucking freedom of speech and thought because they've got a fucking narrow-minded view of what the world should look like. This cunt, that is exactly what he fucking does. This has got fucking national, ministerial fucking attention. So, if you have anything to do with this, if you are part of the fucking messenger group or if you follow him on Facebook, get yourself off it. The MI battalion are fucking involved in it. Or search Facebook and find out who the fuck you are. Do not share anything around this camp to do with this message. Will not be in this camp for much fucking longer. Anybody found dealing in the same sort of shit will fucking follow him out. My advice to you is to disassociate yourself. Do not drag my name and my fucking regiment and cap badge through the fucking mire by associating with people like that.
Okay, so is what that guy, this officer guy, is telling those youngsters is you are here to fight for other people's freedoms, not your own. Is that not what he's saying to them? That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing an officer bullying some young lads, saying you are here to fight for other people's freedoms of speech, freedoms of expression, not your own. That's what I hear when I listen to that. If you want an enhanced audio recording of that, it's on my YouTube channel, Singular, and it's much clearer than what you've just heard, I believe. Excuse me. So there you go, guys. The latest on Tommy. His court hearing is the 23rd. I'll drop the links below the video. I'll see you. We'll be live tomorrow for the Doghouse. If not, we'll be on hashtag Sunday Long Live Radio, where we've got different broadcasters and hosts from around the world bringing you real news with some great music as well. And we'll be taking on the latest topics and current events. You come in the chat, we read them out. Thanks for joining us all. I'm going to cut it short because no one will watch this video if I leave it long. Love and peace always. Rearbow.